Hey, fam. This is Kia's Eyes View, and there are just some things I don't always say out loud. So let's get straight to the point. Let me ask y'all this. What are y'all views on showing support to people and giving credit when credit is due? Giving applause when someone close to you achieves something or, you know, just gets recognized for something that they've done great in or succeeded in. What are your views on showing and giving people their flowers when they're due? Me personally, I believe it's very necessary for us to lift each other up when, credit is due. Let people know that you're proud of them. Let them know that you are in applause to something that they've accomplished, something that they probably didn't think they could do, and they did it. And way too often, we kind of look down on people when it's not us. I wouldn't say we because I wouldn't necessarily categorize myself as that person, but I've been on the other end where I've experienced accomplishing something, and just because I feel like people maybe around me or people that, and I can't speak for them entirely, but it feels like, you don't hear a congratulations. You don't hear oh, you're doing your thing. That's what's up. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. As you may do for others. And there's some people that's on the receiving end of that stick, and there's some people that should be on the other end where they're giving and receiving feedback when there's something positive happening in your life. Something exciting is very important. I feel like it's too much negative nowadays. There's always someone saying, oh, it's talking down or something. Find the negative instead of uplifting the positive in the whole scenario most times, and we need a lot more than that, I would say. To touch base on this specific topic, recently I was talking to someone close to me about, going to work and accomplishing several times being employee of the week or being top 10 driver and maintaining it, because I do the same things like routine every day. And that's just how I operate, especially with having anxiety and not wanting things to, necessarily, I wouldn't say categorize it as going wrong, but when there are challenges and hiccups in your day and things that you have to overcome, sometimes it can cause a little bit of disturbance for your day, a little bit of uneasy feelings. But I get through those things by basically having a routine I have in place every day. I don't do what I do for anyone to give me any kind of pat on the back or anything. I do it because it gives me comfort, and it keeps me at ease, and it makes me feel good to satisfy the customers, and makes it's just who I am as a person. I've always had a very business oriented mindset. I've always worked in manager positions where I've had to oversee a lot of things. I've had to be a role model, so that's just how I operate as a human being. So I have high standards for myself. I have certain things, that real goals that I would want to reach for myself. So I hold myself to those standards. It has nothing to do with the next person. But the question raises is, why don't we lift each other up instead of putting each other down? We can always congratulate, our fellow coworker or our friend for getting that job they always wanted, or our family member for getting a new car or buying a new house, or something like health wise, where they decided to stop eating fast food for a certain amount of time. You got to be proud of the people around you, and you got to have people around you that are proud of the things that you do as well. If you find yourself around other people that aren't proud of the things you do, don't uplift you or try to give you words of encouragement just like you should do for them, or you feel like you do for them, then the question raises, do you have the right people around you, the type right people to motivate you as you want to motivate them? I will say overall, I am so happy to have the people that I do have in my corner and people I have around me. Um, for the most part, I have a lot of supportive people. You don't always get the most supportive. Sometimes you have to also take into account that people aren't always 100% themselves. There are ups and downs. You also have to think they may not always be able to show as much support as you think that you would want them to show. Like, just because they're not showing as much support as you may think that you want, doesn't mean that they're not supporting you at all. So don't always think that people don't have their plate full as well. You have to take them into consideration too. Drop some stories and some comments down below. Maybe if you want to engage, and let me know of sometimes where you felt like you would have liked to get a little more support from the people closest to you. Something that if you were in their shoes and the tables were turned, that you would have probably, did more, or, said more than what you received. And you was feeling like when you receive an end, you didn't get enough. And if you were the giver, you would have gave a lot more. And without further ado, this is Kia's Eyes View. So do me a favor, fam, and drop some comments, like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications for when I drop some new stuff, some new conversations. Until next time, yeah. Peace.